and Shelly Kay, they're natural. Who is that? That
Bo
picture?
Diddley. That's Bo Diddley.
Bo
Oh,
Diddley.
Diddley. Oh, he's showing up today.
I played drums with him when I was younger, so I just I thought this would be fun to look at for a second.
Oh yeah.
How you doing, Auntie?
He's joining us.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm doing fine, nephew. How you doing?
Good, love you.
Love you too, baby.
We all
Awesome.
love you.
We're going live. Whenever you're ready for your music, Miss Sheila, you can have at it.
Okay. I'm going to take the screen. Did you give me the power on the screen?
Oh, I thought I did.
No, Ty.
Oh.
Something that said that you are the host now, Sheila. I'm not sure if that matters. Oh, you got it.
Oh, this is the part that drives me nuts. Okay.
Cool.
Hey there.
Good evening. Welcome to the City of Arts Virtual Music Symposium. This symposium is brought to you by LEAP, Linking Everyday Extraordinary People. The Key of G, Everett's Natural Beauty School and Salon. Hug Detroit Day. Aduni's Event Planning Bootcamp Academy. And in Bayou, it's not business as usual. Tonight's discussion features the vocal instrument. Our master vocal panelists for this evening are Laura Rain, Smoke Jones, Liz Larin, Sky Covington, Robert Carter, Bob St. Thomas, and your master moderator, Tino Gross. So sit back, relax, learn, and enjoy. Take it on, Mr. Tino. It's all yours.
Thank you so much, Sheila. I am Tino Gross, your master moderator for the City of Arts Music Symposium, the first year, and we're so honored to be a part of this. I'm excited to be here with this all-star lineup of great Detroit vocalists. This is the cream of the crop, ladies and germs, so fasten your seatbelts. You're going to get pummeled with great information about what it's like to be a top shelf vocalist in the Motor City, the greatest music city on earth, bar none. And what we're going to do is we're going to pass the mic around, sort of like a roundtable discussion, let everybody explain who they are and their experiences and their love for the Motor City. I'm honored to be chosen to be the moderator. A little bit about my background is I grew up in Detroit. I was raised here. My family has deep roots going back to the 30s. Our first house was on Delmar Street, right off of Oakland Avenue. And we were way down into the cultural music scene right from the beginning. My grandfather owned and operated a fruit market on Oakland Avenue. And incidentally, the kid that ran the groceries around to Detroiters was Casey Kasem, who worked for my grandfather. And
Really?
yeah, Casey Kasem, before he went to Wayne State University.
Wow.
So yeah, and then of course we had there was 4 brothers, my father and 3 older brothers. The oldest brother was Harry Gross, who was a Purple Gang guy, one of the infamous Purple Gang members who he was shot dead 1937 on Thanksgiving Eve at the famed Boesky's on 12th Street. This was national news back in the 30s. So our roots are deep. And then they shared a loft or a 2-story duplex in Detroit with Reuben Weiss and his family. And you might know Rube Weiss from CKLW, the voice of CK. He was the voice of Detroit Dragway. Sunday night at Detroit Dragway. So we have deep roots. And then I started playing drums when I was a kid. My first real professional gig was with John Lee Hooker. I played drums with John Lee Hooker and then moved on to working with all the Detroit blues stars. Got to play with Bo Diddley. And then a big moment came for me at the Fox Theater later on. I performed with Bob Dylan on guitar at the Fox. And then my band, the Howlin' Diablos, we went on tour with George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. We played with Tom Petty, Jay Giles' band, ZZ Top, on and on and on. And then, as luck would have it, in the music business, and we're going to get to everybody's stories, but you never know what's around the corner. I was offered a producer job by a fantastic record company in Mississippi, Fat Possum Records, to produce R.L. Burnside's last 2 records, the legendary blues man. And then we pulled some Detroiters into that label. Nathaniel Mayer was one of them. We did his comeback album, and then we did Kenny Brown's album, and we started our own label. It's called Funky D Records. I'm sitting down in what we call the Funk Bunker right now, and we have a great catalog: John Sinclair, Jimmy Bones, the great Robert Bradley. I'm sure many of you know who Robert Bradley is. And we're busy working on another John Sinclair record, and we're about to do one with the fabled Detroit drummer from Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels, Mr. Johnny B. Bedanjic, and his new band, the Murder Hornets. So there's so much goodness going on in the Motor City. I'm blessed to be a part of Detroit, and the music is in the air and the water and the soil here. So without further ado, I would like to get to some of our great guests here, and we'll just go around the horn. Everybody introduce themselves. I'll start with you, Liz Larin. Go ahead.
Hey there, Tino. That was so much fun to hear some of that background. Wow, man, I didn't know all that deep stuff there. That's really cool.
Thank you.
I too have, my grandparents came through, my whole family came through Montreal and Quebec, and my grandparents came here to work for the auto company and all that stuff, and that's how we got here. But I also came up here and kind of, I think I can, use a few words here, but I definitely got my ass kicked in a very healthy way by so many musicians here that have said, and it's like, so I really owe a lot to a lot of people who have schooled me here. Yeah. And I signed a deal out of a club in Ferndale, Michigan that everybody said, no way, it's not going to happen, with Atlantic Records when I was 26. And then I really started on this education. It was really scary stuff. And then I came back and started my second label. I came back to Detroit. I was in LA for just a bit, and I said, no way, I'm going back to Detroit. And as a producer, I've found my niche doing composing for film lately, because I get to use all the skills.
Of course, yeah.
Being a vocalist, being a multi-instrumentalist, and So I've been doing that, and then I've been branching off and doing. I just signed with a label out of Nashville. Really nice guys, doing music for meditation and yoga and stuff and healing. So adding that to it too. So feeling really, really blessed and really honored to be on this
Good
panel
to
with
have
all
you.
these folks.
Good to have you, Liz. Thank you. Smoke Jones is in the house.
What's going on, Mr. Gross?
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. Again, I'm honored to be on this show as well. I mean,
Good
this
to
is
have you.
truly an honor for me. I'm very new to this business. The thing that I love is coming into this business and having people that support, you know, having people that
Yeah.
believe in your talent from the very beginning. So I consider myself a talented person. At one point in my life, I didn't, right? So when you come from, I would say, a background where you don't feel talented, and then all of a sudden you hit a stage and people like and appreciate what you do, you know, it opens your mindset, it opens your horizon. So for me as a person, I just started about 3.5 years ago. And in that time, I've developed my skill for singing. I'm a band leader. I've taught myself guitar. I played, you know, some pretty decent shows so far to be in this game for about 3.5 years. And I'm just looking to learn and move forward. I mean, you know, there's no ego besides what I have on stage when I got to act up, you know.
Right.
But, you know, I'm loving what I do. I'm loving what I do. So,
Well, I have to share this real quick with you.
yeah.
So the last year of COVID, right? And we're all locked down. My wife and I, Lexi, both had COVID. We had it a year ago when it first hit in March.
Oh.
And it, you know, without going into it, because we're very fortunate, we're here, but it knocked us sideways. And when we were able to get up and actually go out of the house again, she went on a little journey into Royal Oak. This was July 4th of last year. She goes, "Oh my God, I just saw the coolest band. It's live music. It's unbelievable." And she sent me a video of the Smoke Jones band at the Royal Oak Farmers Market.
Ah.
And you were doing something like a song about Laura. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, Gregory Porter, Hey Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Yeah.
And it meant so much to us. Like we were like beside ourselves with joy.
Wow.
For one, to see live music because nobody was moving, you know, it was. And then to hear something that sounded so good. And I just want to tell you, brother, in a weird way, I've known you for a while because we enjoyed that so much. And I saw the video, you know, I was like, this is fantastic. This guy's great. And I just wanted to thank you for that.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, it's important, you know, that people feel that way.
Right.
You know, I get emotional hearing that. But, you know, I really try and sing songs like that and doing covers because I'm writing songs right now, right? But when I do covers, I really try my best to not try to emulate the artist.
Yeah.
And when someone connects with something that you sing that's a cover and they enjoy it in that way, that's an honor because I'm not trying to be that person. I'm trying to be Smoke Jones singing that song. So I appreciate you connecting with it and expressing that.
Stay on that path, man, because you got the goods, brother.
Thank you.
And you got a lot of good things coming up.
Yeah.
You know, I really enjoyed your performance. Laura Rain, yay! Yay! Hi, Laura.
Tino, how are you? You know,
Good.
I don't think I've actually spoken to you in about 20 years.
I know. That's my fault.
That's
And well, it's also my fault, but
Well, we're busy. We're doing stuff.
well, we're here now, so
Yeah.
that's a good blessing. I really have learned a lot about you this year watching this and that PBS special. I can't remember which one. Was it was the one on PBS? Was it the History of Blues in Detroit?
Oh, the Paradise Boogie movie.
Yeah.
About the
I
old
watched it.
Detroit scene. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that twice and I didn't know all that about you and it makes sense, and you're really along with RJ Spangler, you're really a historian of Detroit music. You've become like this person that is the record person that is collecting all all of this archival Detroit music. You're creating it. You're trying to reinvent it. You have your label, your catalog. So
Thank
I
you,
mean,
Lou.
it's really incredible how long you've been doing this. So
My favorite subject. And I've been learning about you. You know, it's not about me today, it's about you guys. So I've been hearing your tracks on DET, and we shared a show together, the Concert of Colors. We're both on there the last one with Don Was and the John Lee Hooker special.
and your performance was one of my favorites.
Well,
Absolutely.
so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, with John Sinclair, that was outrageous.
Yeah, but I love what you and George are up to. It's fantastic. You guys are just coming up with the dopest, coolest soul stuff. So keep it up. It's
Thank
so
you.
good. Yeah, yeah. So
Thank
just
you.
tell us a little bit about you and your background. I know you lived in LA for a while.
Yeah, I've lived there a couple times.
Good.
I have been stomping around the Detroit area. I think I've known Phil since I was 19. It's been a while.
Awesome.
I won't say how long that's been, but it's been a long time. But I think I've been trying to find my way
Yeah.
for a long time, and I have been writing for a very long time, but I really didn't believe in what I could do, and didn't put the effort into believing in myself until I came back from the Los Angeles area the second time. And my life is kind of fraught with personal hardships, but the one thing that I have to maintain is that I always overcome. I can do this. I can do this. If I believe in myself, I can do this. And I think that's the hardest thing I've had to learn. If I would have believed in myself, within reason, if I didn't think if I didn't think that nothing was there to pursue, I wouldn't. But believing in myself and having someone else believe in you has been the major catalyst in, I think, my career growth in the past 7-8 years. When I met George, I think he was the first person that truly believed in me from his heart. And
Good thing to have that.
you have that. You have
I
that.
do
with
have that.
Linda.
I have that with Lexi.
Yeah.
Totally believes in me, and I'm lucky to have a circle of musicians, our kind of little wrecking crew over here. That
Yeah.
we all support each other and we believe in each other. And we'll get into this down the road, but I also want to talk about the Detroit vibe and how we all do support one another in this city. I mean, it's so obvious that, you don't find that everywhere. It's you go to Nashville, New York, LA, and it's like, the guy that's welding your muffler and hanging it, has got an album about to come out, or the woman that's bringing you the coffee at the Denny's is an actress waiting to blow up.
Right.
So everybody's just, I'm out for myself,
Right.
But Detroit has this like kind of camaraderie, which you just touched on. And I want to thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
We support each other here. We do.
Yeah.
So what's on the horizon for you?
Well, we are during this, we developed this system. Actually, George came up with this whole thing to release, a single a month to really kind of jumpstart.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID, we were kind of slumping, and the touring was getting, laborious with, clubs half filled, some were good, some not.
Yep.
And so we decided to restart everything and just kind of start from ground zero and build back up. And so doing the singles a month really helped kind of start a fire and a chain reaction. So by the time we got to Closer to the Wind, we already had this momentum going. And then we got so busy with the response from Closer to the Wind when we released that on New Year's Eve.
Right.
We had to pull back because we're like, now what do we do? So we had to write more songs to get more stuff together. So we're about to release another single in a couple weeks.
Cool.
And then a full-length album, and hopefully you know, we're still trying to build our business in some different directions. And the biggest thing that I have found through all of this, this past year is really reaching out to people. And that was on my list to do prior to COVID, but reaching out to new people. And that's what I've done. And it has definitely, you know, worked in our favor. So I think we will continue doing that. So hopefully to, you know, catapult some more hits, you know, as far as, you know, business and touring and stuff like that. So
yeah, keep it coming,
Great,
you know.
Laura.
Yeah, it's like Art Blakey, the jazz drummer, had a great comment. People ask him, well, how come you're always gigging and doing stuff? He goes, man, out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
right.
Got to keep it going. So who is with us that we haven't introduced yet? Is there somebody yet that hasn't been introduced?
Oh, there's Sky. Sky
Oh,
is
Sky's
there.
with us. Okay, great. Sky. Hi, Sky.
Oh, I don't know if she can.
Maybe not.
Oh, her mic's on, but
Oh,
hey, Sky, can you hear us? Maybe I'll send her a message. Oh, she's dead. Looks like she's getting ready.
Yeah,
Sky
she's
with us?
actually, Sky is actually at a gig, so I'm sure she had stepped
Oh, then we'll go
outside
back to
to
Liz
join.
for a minute.
Oh,
Let's go back.
I can talk. I
Yeah,
can talk a lot.
you know, Liz, you were kind enough to send me a couple topics to discuss, and they were really all very good. And as you know, as a vocalist, you had touched on a couple things, like what inspired you to get started? What made you want to be a singer? Like, what was the impetus for you to say, I'm doing this?
It's kind of an odd one because when I was a kid until I was in high school, I stuttered. And I just gave up on speaking. I
Really?
couldn't do it. I couldn't pick up the phone. I couldn't answer the phone. I was really self-conscious if people talk to me. You'll hear me stutter every so often. It's still sort of in there. But I just kind of gave up on speaking. And then when I was 10, I just started writing songs. And I think it was a way of kind of saying things about the world. And then I found my mom's guitar in a closet that she wasn't playing. And I figured out how to tune it and stuff and just started writing. And I just think I started to come out of my shell, and I finally had something that I could do that made me, you know, I could stand up in front of people for like the first time. And then I got recruited for guitar masses.
Yeah.
So they had me doing all this, you know, church music and running around and doing weddings and funerals and stuff. But I kind of got kicked out on that when I convinced the nuns and the priests that Stairway to Heaven was a religious song. And we started doing it in a church service.
Right.
And we're going into it, and as you wind down the road, and it's starting to pick up, and I look over, and the priest is looking, and the nuns are giving me the stare down. I was like, yeah, maybe I'm not really cut out for this anymore.
Right.
So yeah, that was the impetus, was to be able to talk to people and to communicate with people. And I'm just so grateful that through tough times, I always had this music thing that kept me busy, kept me out of trouble.
Amen.
You know, it's like,
I do know.
Yeah, right? You know, you're busy. It's like, it takes a lot to do it, and it really keeps you out of trouble.
A busy mind is not the devil's workshop.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that with us. I want to bump over to Smoke again.
Yeah.
Smoke, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You know, I want to pose this to everybody on the panel. We're here in Detroit. This is such a major music city. It's been 50 years now, is the anniversary of the What's Going On album by Marvin Gaye. What are your thoughts on that record?
I sing that song quite a bit.
I know you do.
Yeah, I sing that song quite a bit. Now, my thoughts on it are, the world we live in today, I mean, it still applies now. It's one of those timeless things to where when it was written, it was applicable. It's never going to lose its meaning.
Right.
I connect with Marvin Gaye on so many levels anyway, right? So, it applies today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
On so many levels, ecology,
Mm-hmm.
Race relations, on and on and on. And then as a singer yourself, let me pose this to you.
Yeah.
Marvin was in a tough spot with that record. The label didn't like it. This is common knowledge. Barry wasn't feeling it. Didn't think it was the way Motown should be going with protest music. Where are you at with something like that? If you're signed to a label, how much, are you ready to fight for your vision?
I will be very willing to fight for my vision. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't even think you really, especially when you start, have to consider walking a line between being, socially acceptable,
Right.
is living your truth, right? A lot of the songs that I write right now, I write them from the heart, and I wouldn't want for someone to tell me that I couldn't express that. I mean, that's one of the rights that we have in this country. You should be able to express yourself. Now, these companies also have the prerogative to not, to not stop you and to not put your records out, right?
Right.
I mean, that's the thing you have to deal with. I mean, maybe you have to find someone else who's going to give you that autonomy to write what is going to be important to you. And that's what I want as a person. That's what I want as an artist. I mean, you can't tell an artist that, you can't use pink, you can't use azure, you can't use peach.
Right.
You got to get all the colors that you want to put in that painting so it makes sense to you. And only then, if it makes sense to you, can someone else connect to it. I wouldn't let someone dictate to me in that way. But you have to be prepared to not make that dollar.
Well, Marvin went and got his own money when it looked like he had to do it that way.
Yeah.
So much he believed in it. Well, that's fantastic. Laura, what are your thoughts about something like that?
Well, I think first of all, I think I'm past the point in my career where a giant label would pick me up and tell me what to do and shape me as an artist.
Yeah.
They're actually still, I think they're still doing that with Motown, with like the Motown Accelerator thing and stuff like this. But, I have always done what I want to do and stayed true to myself. And I see the success in really focusing in on the gem that is inside that makes us all unique and beautiful. So, and I truly feel that the independent labels that are successful, the small ones and the larger ones, I think they want good music. I think they want good music. I don't think, that the smaller labels, well, I do know some producers that, I guess are more controlling, but it's a choice. Do you want to be on such and such label where all of your guitar has to sound a certain way? There has to be this type of organ sound or this. And I don't really think that the content is as important as the overall sound now. And I think that with the woke movement and the Black Lives Matter, I think definitely the more significant content you have, the better, because I listen to new artists, and I'm involved in a couple different things where we're, doing different things for unexpected people that I would never think I'd be working with. And, what are they saying?
Right.
What are you saying? It is your voice.
Mhm.
What are you saying? If you want to write about beer and clubs and
Right.
stocks, go for it. If that's
Right.
how you feel.
Right.
But if you want to write about strife and protesting and being defiant, it's all about how you approach it. Stevie Wonder wrote the greatest songs being defiant and protest. If it has a funky beat, you can get down to it. Doesn't really matter what the words are.
Right. Right.
Right. Right.
Well, anybody can jump in at this point. If you have a thought on what Laura said, please do.
Well, I really, really respect Laura, and it's just I'm such an admirer of you because when I look at what you're doing, to me it resonates, and I'm sure it resonates with so many people that you are saying, be yourself, be an original. And I just think that is just really, really great. When I started, I had a lot of people who probably thought, oh, they were looking at me and they thought I was kind of passive or mousy or something. And they would tell me what I was going to be doing. And they didn't think I was going to be kicking back all the time. And I didn't always make friends, but I have my integrity. But when I figured out that I could record myself, and Tino, I know that you relate to this too, when you can bring your idea to the party and it's kind of fully formed.
Right.
It's worth knowing how to, record yourself and bring your idea and your album artwork and your photos, and you're like, this is what I'm doing. And then it kind of clears up things. So yeah, Laura, you're definitely doing that. Tino, you're certainly doing that too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's when the artist has a vision, you don't want that vision to be thwarted or minimized or stomped on. You're going to put all the chips forward on that. This is what I'm feeling. And, I brought up Marvin Gaye's album because, it's such a masterpiece. And there's just, so much backstory to that record. The way, he had to get, his own money, and every step of the way, the label was against that record. And then Rolling Stone magazine picked it as the #1 greatest album of all time. I mean, now,
That's amazing.
had he backed down on that, imagine,
Yeah.
And no, you got to do Stubborn Kind of Fella again. Just keep making that record over and over again. We don't want to hear what's going on.
Yeah.
So we don't want to hear Inner City Blues. So those are issues that, I think need to be explored on the panel as vocalists. Are we puppets, or do we do what we really are feeling,
Yeah.
And I can tell this crew is all in on, being actual, visionaries, and I'm proud to be a part of this with you. This is what we do in Detroit.
Yeah,
So,
Tino
Tino,
is here with us now.
hey, there he is. Phil.
What's up?
Hey, buddy.
All
Join
right,
us.
good to see.
Join us, man.
Oh, I've been here.
Fantastic.
Sky, unmute yourself, dear.
Is Sky with us?
Yes.
Is it? Oh,
There she
now,
is.
Everyone.
there
Hi.
she is. Hi, Sky.
There she
Hi,
is. Hi,
everyone.
Sky.
Hey.
Hey,
We've been
I'm
asking
Tino.
you questions.
I'm your moderator, and I want to thank you for being a part of this wonderful panel. And
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
this is the first year, and we wish this to have continued success. It's such a great thing that
Sure
Bill
is.
and Sheila have come up with. We're all making friends here today. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and who you are and what's been going on, and what your current projects are.
Well, right now I'm a Detroiter,
Amen.
and that's kind of that makes the music. So I'm a Detroit artist, and
Because you were from down in New Orleans for a while, I read.
I was in New Orleans. I went on a search for compassion,
Yeah.
and I left Detroit. I wanted to get some of that cement off my feet from the industrial life,
Right.
that whole thing that Detroit does to the psyche. And
Yeah.
I wanted to smooth it out a little bit. So I decided to go on a journey for empathy and compassion.
Love it.
And I wanted to become a jazz singer. And so I went on a journey, and I traveled to New Orleans for off and on for 15 years. I got my name, Sky Covington, in Atlanta one night.
Yeah.
And then I came home after 15 years right before two months before Katrina. My mother asked me to come home, and I got to experience what that felt like. The best story that I can tell about that was one of my friends had created a horn. He had a lot of horns, and he wrapped them up and it made a hat. So
Yeah.
he would put the horn on his head so it wouldn't get wet. And he was walking through the water. And that was the only thing that he had on his head. So that was the type of people that that I've kind of been around. And so being a Detroiter, that's what I am. I'm in love with my city. I get a lot of
Amen.
a lot of letters saying you should leave, you should leave. I'm like, no, I don't want to leave Detroit. I'm a Detroiter. I love what Detroit has made me, and what continues to make me. And if anybody wanted to book me and all that stuff, they could just send me a ticket with a deposit.
Right.
But
Perfect.
Detroit is my home, and the best way I can describe myself right now is through Detroit, that we just continue to keep putting new things out there. That's pretty much what we all have that in common, that you just have to stay current, not stay in the times, but just always having something to share with the public. That's what they need. So that's pretty much me. I used to be a lot of things, but now I'm just, I love God, I love my city, and I love my husband, and I just want to do well when I'm on stage, just be the best me I can be.
I can feel that so
That's
strong
great,
coming right
Scott.
through the internet from you,
Yeah.
That's a strong feeling that you're sending out. And, coming from Detroit, if there was ever another city to go take a sabbatical in, it's New Orleans.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The two greatest music cities right there. You cannot mess with Detroit or New Orleans. And, pursuing jazz, well, that's where it started, is New Orleans. And, did you run into, like, say, Johnny Adams or Irma Thomas, or, there are so many greats down there.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I actually, John Sinclair, I was doing poetry here at the time, and John Sinclair had sent me there on a residence for at this hotel. It was supposed to be haunted. I actually opened up, it was a Chinese circus at the time, and they were urinating on each other. But
God.
but John Sinclair, I opened up for that, for the act. But John Sinclair was my a good friend and mentor, and he believed in me, and so he introduced me to a lot of people. I went down there just totally ignorant. I still had the Detroit hustle on me. So the first few years, I was still trying to dust a lot of the street life and stuff like that off me.
Sure.
But ultimately, I like maybe the 4th or 5th year, I started kind of rounding out and blending in, and I started getting a little empathy and a little more compassion. And then I started, of course, I love traditional jazz, and I started doing music in New Orleans, like Honeysuckle Rose and Moonlight in Vermont, and that sort of thing. And it just made me more of a lady. I started just understanding jazz in its entirety, that it's more than emotional. An emotion is more than words. It's kind of a way of life.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So I got to and I met Marcus Belgrave. I didn't meet him in Detroit. I met him in New Orleans. Bob French, the French brothers, Urban Mayfield, those cats. I was the one they laughed at. So by no means did I go down there like scatting and everything. I was very clumsy and lopsided, but they just started like giving me a lot of good advice, and I started listening, and then it just kind of started, rubbing off and rounding off on me.
That's fantastic. Now, I know you do a lot of shows at Baker's Keyboard Lounge, or have. And
Well,
I grew up like a few blocks from there, you know, in Detroit, and you know, spent a lot of nights at Baker's back in the 70s. I remember just seeing everybody in there, you know, Art Blakey, Elvin Jones, Yusef Lateef, you know, Ahmed Jamal. I mean, it was the place to be, and it's still going strong. And that's what Detroit's about. I mean, this is the world's oldest jazz club, Baker's Keyboard Lounge, and what an honor to work there. What are some of your you know, feelings about Baker's Keyboard Lounge?
well, when I was young, I used to live over on Winthrop, and I
Yeah,
would see Joan, I think Joan Crawford.
I was on
Who,
Oakfield.
yeah, yeah. Well, she worked at Baker's on Wednesday night, and I would see
Right,
her every Wednesday get dressed up, and I said, whatever she's doing, I want to do, not even knowing that she was going to Baker's.
right,
Fast forward, that was one of my dreams to
right.
perform at Baker's. Baker's was like my Carnegie Hall as in my younger time.
Yeah,
So Perry Hughes watched me for about 2 years, and he kept saying, I'm going to book you at Baker's. Just keep it up, keep working at it, and I want to book you at Baker's.
yeah,
And so he did. He hired me. I was a feature with OGD for 4 years, and the 4 years went so fast. Then something started happening close to the end. That was right before the COVID, and
right.
but I haven't been back since then. But that was the best 4.5 years of my life. Just
Fantastic.
being
Great.
there, and I
That's
think
like going to school.
Yeah.
it was definitely, well, I actually even snuck my picture on the wall. I hope it's still on there.
Did ya? That's
Nice.
great.
I put my
That's
picture
great.
on the wall. So it wasn't their idea to put my picture there. I don't know how I ended up getting that picture on the wall, but
Deserve it.
it should be
You
still on
deserve
there.
it.
Yeah, that's
All right.
great.
Deserve
No
that.
Great.
Deserve that.
I must say, I've been so encouraged by Sky, her love for the community,
Yeah,
all the things she does in the community, her love for jazz. I'm sure you've probably seen her show on WJZZ, and she gives you a history of jazz, right?
right.
I so appreciate that, so I just want to say
And what
thank
is
you.
Hug Detroit? What is Hug Detroit? That's a thing you do as well. Hug Detroit?
Yeah. Hug Detroit is Sheila and I we've been doing Hug Detroit now for 8 years, and it's pretty much
Fantastic.
getting back to the hugs and handshakes that shaped
Hey,
Detroit back in the day. That's the best way I could describe it.
right.
And especially with COVID going on, last year was kind of tough for us because we couldn't hug, but we did a virtual a hug block party, and it was still, you could still feel the energy. And like right now, I can still feel everyone's energy. So
Yeah.
Hug Detroit was just another way that I could say I love the city, and I can't always do free stuff
Right.
because and I don't do this for the money at all. This is not a money thing for me. But Hug Detroit was a way that I could give back and invite some friends on stage, and we could have a good time and just show another side of ourselves and
Yeah.
the community.
That's
Yeah.
Well,
great. That's
that was
great.
something I wanted to touch on with the panel was, the voice is the first human instrument. Like there was no instruments before the voice. That's number one, the first instrument. Obviously, the second one would be the drums. You can pound on a log or a rock and get a groove going, and then you got the voice.
Mhm.
So as vocalists, what do you do with your voice, outside of, say, the normal, musical career type stuff to, change lives and help society and better other people's lives? And, because singing can do that.
Yeah.
It has that strength and power. It can actually do that. And I know we've all done it. We've all had moments where we're doing that and you go, wow, that moved me, And I
Yeah.
was wondering if, take a second and think about that, what you could share, maybe as something and, where you actually did something like that that was a benefit to society or to some person or a
Yeah.
cause or, something that you're singing really mattered like that.
Yeah.
Is there anything that jumps to your mind?
Yeah. I think the best thing that that I could have done for my voice is
Yeah.
find a that youthful place in my heart before the all the trauma, before all the lovers and the whiskeys and all
Right.
all those mistakes and all that stuff. Um that time where I was just probably drinking out of a water hose,
Yeah.
laughing real hard, not even knowing that, that my slip was hanging, that little innocent time. And I think in my voice, I think that purity, my heart,
Right.
that I started coming out of hanging out all the time, and I started getting more in the word. And then when I looked at myself, I could see the girl in me again. And then when people would
Yeah.
hear me perform, they always say, I can really feel you. So
Yeah.
I wanted to do more of that innocence, that even innocence in being provocative. It's just
Sure.
that purity where when you get on stage, you can just cry to the
Yeah.
people, and because somebody might need to see that, or you can smile like a little girl. Somebody might need to see that. You could be witty like a blues singer. All of
Right.
those little, all those little nuances, those little things before I won't say damaged or anything like that, but just before I started to age. And so when I perform now, I always try to go back to the purest time in my life. And when I was just so naive and innocent.
Yeah.
And
That's beautiful.
and people feel that. People feel that
They do.
the truth. They feel that
Yeah.
truth in you.
So well said, Sky.
Nice. Yeah,
That was,
Sky. That's like a nice reminder for all of us to go, oh yeah.
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 That's
Yeah.
really nice. That's really
It's so
cool.
good too.
I
It's
would
so
like to
good.
share this with you guys, like on that same tip.
Yeah.
Wayne Kramer from the MC5, the guitarist,
Yeah.
he started a thing called jail guitar doors, right?
Mhm.
And it's, you go into prisons and, guitars are donated to the convicts. And the idea is to rehabilitate convicts through music instead of punishment.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
punishment is what we do in America. It's just
Right.
punish, 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 punish.
Right.
And we warehouse convicts now here. We have more convicts warehoused, over 2 million than all other countries combined. It's just, we just build the prisons and lock these people up. And nobody's thinking about, well, what happens when they get out? These guys are going to be really angry and broken.
Yeah.
So the idea is you go in with guitars and you start getting these guys to sing and write songs with you.
Wow.
So Wayne asked me to do this, and I did it for a full year right before COVID.
Oh yeah.
I went into the Ryan Reentry Center here in Detroit, and we gave these guys guitars. Every guy in my class was in for life.
Wow.
Mm.
These guys are no joke. They are in for life. And I'm going to tell you something. The beauty of their words, when they would come up with stuff, you would just sit there. I get chills thinking about it to this day. I got more out of it than they probably did, because I'm just looking at these guys, and we would give them a topic, and then each guy would write one sentence, and we would combine all the sentences from maybe, a dozen guys, and that would be our song.
Wow.
And then we would do the song, put chords to it, and we would write a song each session, and these were some of the best moments I ever had in music. And there was no money involved. There was just, we're doing this for the real power of music.
Wow.
And it's changing lives. And you'd throw a topic out like forgiveness. And you'd have a guy sitting there who he's in for life. He's locked up forever, you know. And his line is, I'm sorry I missed your high school graduation. I'm sorry I missed your wedding. I'm sorry I missed the birth of your child. Can you ever forgive me, my daughter? You know?
Whoa.
And right. And I'm just sitting there going, I am so like blown away by this, you know, and it really challenged me about what the hell is music about, you know? It's huge. Music is power. Music has strength. And when we got through 16 weeks, we did a concert, and the only people allowed to come were the guards and the warden, you know, and these guys rocked these tunes we wrote in their orange jumpsuits. And it was unforgettable, you know, for me. So I took away from that, you know, that, you know, music is what we love to do. It's our craft, and we work on it, but there is a strength and a power to being a musician and a singer that can really, really dig deep into, you know, what's going on.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
And I think, you know, well, Marvin Gaye obviously did that. And, you know, I just wanted to throw that out there because this is the world we're in. This is our job.
Yeah.
You know, I have in June, on June the 19th, I'm going to be doing the first Juneteenth festival outside of Detroit.
Yeah.
And to me, that is a monumental event for, I mean, it just speaks to possibly where the world is going right now. I mean, you would think that you wouldn't even see a Juneteenth festival outside of Detroit, right? So I see that as an opportunity to connect with music that not only people may not be familiar with, but things that are going to touch their souls in the vein of the event.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So music touches people as far as having themes.
Right.
You know, you have to know your audience. You know, when people request a song, when people want to hear a song, they want to hear that song for a reason. It's just not that it's just their favorite song. That song they're requesting is touching them. If you know your audience and you go in with that material that you know is going to touch them, I think that's the best service you can do for them outside of actually, you know, feet down doing something, you know, in the community, off the stage. People connect with music on a level that, you know, it's hard to even understand as an artist. It's hard to understand. All you can do is speak your truth, or if you recognize something in a song and you connect to it. I sing a song, A Change Is Going to Come. And I've always loved that song for my entire life. So I built that song out. And then people always say, hey, you can't do a show without that song. So every show that I do, I close it with that song. And I'm literally like fighting tears toward the end of that song. It touches me that way. Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
You know, you have to know your audience.
Yeah. You know, it's so fun to see this new generation of women coming up too. Right. Who are really speaking their truth. It's like, oh yeah, they're not shy. It's just so nice. And yeah, and hearing what they're writing about and what they're singing about, I just think, wow, okay, things could be going in a good direction here with these
I agree, they are.
new women coming up too.
It's supposed to heal. Our music is, we were created to do that, to heal.
Yeah.
That we are doctors in a sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are herbologists. We are that. We just do it through. That is our instrument. And I think I tell my sister this. I hope she's watching, because she wants to be. I don't think she wants to be famous, but she's at that point where she wants to be heard, and to be heard is beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's about really your intent, because you have to have an intent. It depends on the intent that really bring people to you. And it's like Facebook. I have 5,000 friends, but I don't have 5,000 friends. So you know.
Right. Well said, Scott.
So that's how music, I believe, and I'm learning to carry music, and I want to tell my sister that. and all of our youth, that just because you have a talent, that you have to still use it in a way that's going to be healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has to be a healer.
Yeah.
And when you're young, you can kind of I like to use the word fornicate it. You can regurgitate, fornicate. You can do that. That's that child coming out of you, and we love that when we're young, but as you get older, you have to understand that music can kill, or it could give birth,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. I was really surprised too. I started doing, when lockdown came, I listened to a lot of stuff that like focus music and
Yeah.
meditation music, because I just, how it just calms you down. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking of all my musician friends who know what drum beat to use, and know what bass line, and know what to sing. We know that. We know it in our bones, don't we? And it was
Yeah.
just so much fun to have these folks. And I started working with these guys in Nashville who said, we're actually looking for a lot of this music. I thought, Really?" So I started creating a lot of it, but only using the stuff that we know how to do.
Right.
How to slow down, your
Yes,
heart rate,
yes.
and breathe differently. And pretty soon you're getting your whole audience to slow down. And I'm so happy to be,
Yeah,
using
that's
what we all
important.
know,
It's important in terms of
That's
approaching
right,
your
Liz.
craft.
I have a
Is Mike Katie with us?
Yes.
Where's Mike at?
I think his mic's off.
Oh, I got a text from Philly, said, hey, Mike Katie's with us. I just wanted to
Oh.
introduce him, and
Oh, yeah.
let me know when he's ready to go on live with the panel. I'd like to get back to let me ask anybody who wants to answer. What's a show that was real memorable, for you? Like, it's something that just a good story, like a show you did that you just go, wow, I'll never forget that one. I mean, we all must have. It doesn't have to be, the hugest thing in the world. It's just something that stuck with you as a singer, where you'll carry that one with you.
yeah.
Is there one that comes to mind?
Yeah. My very first gig was a celebration of life.
Nice.
And I sang 2 songs a cappella.
Yeah.
And the struggle is that, the family was, destroyed about, the death of a loved one. And they asked me to come in and to sing for this event. And so, I'm nervous. I sang Someday We'll All Be Free by Donny Hathaway.
Oh, beautiful.
And I had to finish learning the song. I mean, it's a really impactful song. So I get the song, I learn it, I got it all the way down. And I'm supposed to have a guitar player to come and accompany me on it. But the guitar player doesn't show.
Uh-oh.
And so, so now I'm super nervous. I got my notes, and, so now I'm telling myself I'm going to have to read the lyrics now because I'm all thrown off. So I'm nervous. I go into the place, the family, greets me, and I go to start to sing the song, and I damn near lose my vision. It's like I can't see. I can't depend on these notes. So and I felt like I lost my vision, or like my short range vision, like right before the performance started. So I just put the paper down.
Right.
And I think I sang probably a quarter of that song totally wrong. But I really got into the song, right?
Yeah.
So got so deep into the song, I opened my eyes, and then, people are crying, and, people are standing up. I get done, and then, they come up and they give me a hug and whatnot. That's my most memorable show, even though it was my very first show. Even in a situation where people are already grieving,
Yeah.
you know the difference between when someone is crying from a loss, or when they're crying from joy, or if you just really connected with them and touched them in the moment. I didn't make much for the event, and these people were trying to put money in my pocket on the way out. I'm like, I'm trying to get out of here without crying myself.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's great.
The best show I've ever done
Wow.
in my life. I'll always remember that show.
Oh,
That's a
that's nice.
fantastic story. Thanks for sharing it. Sky, you got one?
Well, I think so. My mother had taught me that you're only as good as your last gig. So
Yeah,
that
that's
kind of
true.
Yeah.
traumatized
Yep.
me.
Yeah.
It kind of
Yeah.
traumatized me because I've learned, okay, so the other night, we did a show in over at Club Med, Phil, Ibrahim, David Brandon on drums, and the
Oh,
guys they were kind of getting on me a little bit, like, these guys don't want to hear jazz. And I whispered to them, they got to hear this because that's what they invited me for. Um, the traditional jazz. So I go into the show. I flop on the first song because I'm trying to kind of be down and hip, but the lyrics wasn't the words wasn't coming out. So I kind of flopped on that one. And then so I said, okay, Sky, you just you gotta be honest. Just do what you do.
Mhm.
And I tell you, I started telling this story about, about the Israelites and all this kind of stuff, and
yeah.
talking about the Russian icons and doing this jazz, the Afro blue, and all of these different things, elements, and telling this story. And I tell you, it was not me. And the girls, the young girls, they had the bus was showing, everything was showing. But
Wow.
when they left out, we were about to leave, and the young girls was coming up to me, and they were calling me queen and ma'am, and
Wow.
they were asking me about my Instagram, and they were so taken back. And I was like, thank you. I didn't have to feel the crowd. I could just give them what I came there to give them.
That's great.
And so just the other night, it was just one of those moments.
Yeah, that's
It was,
fantastic.
huh?
That's
Yeah,
That's
fantastic.
it was a
fantastic.
12 o'clock show, and I think it was a good show, and I was happy to be there to serve.
Yeah,
That's
to
great.
serve. That's a good way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you, Laura? Is there one you come to mind that, something you want to share? Laura Rain?
Oh, me. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Thought you said Liz. You know what?
Yeah.
Sky, I think, has said everything I need to say. I swear. I'm like, she said everything so well.
She
I don't need
did.
to say anything.
Yeah.
But
Right. What are you going to
I
say
love
after
y'all.
that?
I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
wow, man. But I tell you, there are good shows and there are bad shows, but the ones that stick with me are when you are able to move people in a special way, and when it feels electric,
Yeah.
and you can never repeat or duplicate those circumstances.
No.
It's just
Yeah.
like
Boom.
whatever the weather is, the wind blowing, the atmosphere, and all of these things, you are able to move people, and we develop all of our skills so that we are able to be conduits of our craft.
Yeah.
So when you get to the point when you can do that, or do it better, when you're moving people to an emotional level and a spiritual level, that's what I strive to do. And that is when I know that I've done my job up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
When I give my guts out on the stage, sometimes they're not listening. I keep hitting them and hitting them and hitting them. And sometimes it takes so much effort to break through their wall. It just depends. We play all kinds of venues for all different kinds of people.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it feels like there's a shield, like they don't want it. They don't want it. You finally break, and then they're sold. But whenever that situation is, when you have this electric connection with the audience, and you're bringing them almost to tears, and you're connecting on a spiritual level, it really is special, and makes me continue to do, what I do on so many levels.
Well, what you just added, I mean, see, you said you didn't have it, you couldn't add anything. Now you just took it up another notch.
Yep.
I'm going to throw this quick story in. With my band, the Holland Diablos, we had this like great manager. His name was Dave Leone. God bless him. He died unexpectedly in his bathroom shaving at the age of 56.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he just dropped dead. And Dave was a legend in Detroit. You know, he brought out, you know, he had Hideout Records. He found Bob Seger. You know, he managed Alice Cooper. He managed all these great acts, did all this great stuff. So he passes away. We're at his funeral, standing at his coffin, right? And it's just packed with music industry types. Everybody's there, like too many names to even mention, the cream of the crop. People flew in from all over the world. We're standing at his coffin in tears, and there's a lady from Live Nation standing next to me. And she goes, "Would you be able to open for Tom Petty tonight at the Palace?" She goes, "The opening act, the Five Blind Boys of Alabama missed their plane. And they got on the wrong plane." And, you know, of course, you know, it's the Five Blind Boys and they get on the wrong plane. And it's like, this is like something out of a freaking movie. She goes, "You got to haul ass. You got to be at the Palace of Auburn Hills like in an hour."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and you can use like some of Tom Petty's equipment because we need an opening act. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like the freakiest thing. So we haul ass out to the Palace, and it's sold out, of course. We do our show, and we're just so emotional. Everybody's keyed up. I dedicated the show to Dave Leone, our fantastic manager, who's watching down from us in heaven right now. This is his booking. He booked us from heaven. You know, this was like a movie.
That's amazing.
And we do the show, you know, we're getting this standing ovation. Tom Petty's standing side stage, nodding his head. You know, he lets us have dinner with him and his band. And I mean, you know, that was one of those crazy things that we all love, you know, in this business where you never know what's around the corner.
Yeah.
You just keep going, you know, because you don't know what's around the corner. Michael Katie, welcome, brother.
How are you all doing this evening?
Good, man.
Good.
Take the floor, sir, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, you know, I was raised in Detroit, home, you know, all my funk brothers, but all my teachers, my mentor was Harold McKinney, Marcus Belgrade, Teddy Harris, Kenny Cox, Donald Walden, all the guys. And, you know, me being a vocalist, I caught hell in the back room because I had to get it right. If I didn't get it right, they would let me know it.
That's true.
Yeah, but that's great. With great times. I really miss not being home. You know, my job transferred over to Ohio, so I'm living in Ohio now. But But the music scene, I'm down in Miami all winter, and I'm back in Cleveland in the summer, and I'm trying my best to get home this year to Detroit to see everybody for the Jazz Fest and all. You know. Yeah, I miss a lot of you. I'm serious. I really miss home.
We miss you too.
I miss you. I really do. So how's everybody been going on? How's everything going with your music?
Well, it's going great. You know, this is the strongest music city in the world. So it don't stop in Detroit. You know, you can fire a cannon in Detroit and you're going to hit a musical genius.
Yes.
They're
I've
everywhere.
had some great moments. I have had some great moments. Like a young lady was talking about the spiritual connect. Once you grab the audience, I mean, you know, it's electric. It is. You know, those moments you never get back. You really cherish those moments with, you know, intertwining with the audience. I've done music that made people dance. I've done music that make people just drop down and cry. It depends on what, you know, the situation is at that particular time. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm enjoying it though.
What got you into becoming a vocalist? What was your inspiration?
Well, my mother was Susie Garrett on Punky Brewster, and my aunt is Marla Gibbs.
Whoa.
And then my aunts were all working at the Garfield and the Flame Show Bar when we was kids. They would bring Dinah Washington, Gene Almond.
Woo!
Wow. I mean, it varies on who's gonna be at our house for Sunday dinner. Right. So I started singing when I was like 3 or 4 years old, you know.
Yeah.
So I come up with I knew Ike, Freddie, Nat. I knew all of them. Always with somebody that was musically inclined in Detroit because our folks played music. My uncle played for Count Basie. And then George Faith, he played, first he played sax, and then as you know, Teddy Harris and I was the vocalist for Teddy Harris Bebop Society. I did the music. Me and Harvey Thompson did the music that Norman Thrasher refused to do.
Wow.
You know, he liked Big Joe Williams. He liked Big Joe Williams, but Teddy had a real big book, you know. He wanted to do Horace Silvers and a whole lot of other things. And Norman Thrasher just says, no way, it's every day I had a blues. And that was with which was great, but I mean, you know, he had so many other ideas in mind, and he carried us a long way.
You must have known.
I missed a lot of the great musicians that James Carter and Dwight Adams, and it goes on and on and on.
You must have known Kenny Pancho Haygood then. You knew Kenny Pancho Haygood?
Kenny Pancho Haygood.
Yeah, he sang
Copy
with
by
Dizzy.
face. I can't recall his name.
You know, he sang Oobla Dee, Oobla Da with Dizzy.
Oh, God, yes. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Kenny.
Yeah, Robert MacArthur's doing Oobla Dee now on his new CD.
Right.
Yes.
I figured you knew Kenny. He was a great
Yes, I do. I'm sorry. It's been so long. You know, I really wish I could get home and see everybody. Soon they have those concerts down in Burt's again. Maybe sometime in the summer I might get a chance to get home and see everybody.
What kind of stuff did you do with Marcus Belgrave? What was it, you know?
Well, Marcus had us do, we did Monk, we did Eddie Jefferson, King Pleasures, anything he wanted to play from Clifford Brown to whatever saxophone. It didn't matter, whatever came to mind. Him and Harold used to have us at Serengeti. We used to have classes at Serengeti. And they would take us on these tours to do these shows. Cassius Richmond was playing it with us then, and we had so many great musicians that they always were so good that you couldn't almost fail with them, because if you did mess up, they'd cover you. But they didn't like protecting us. I'm gonna tell you the truth. They didn't like that at all. You better be on point. Yeah.
What was Marla Gibbs like, your aunt?
My aunt is great. She started in Detroit, and now she had a nightclub in LA for about 20-something years called Marla's Memory Lane.
Right.
And she hired everybody that you could possibly name. Horace Tapscott was the main man at the time, but she had Loretta, she had Nancy, she had, you name it, she had everybody. Carmen, everybody played in her club, you know.
Right.
And we had great times out in LA with that, you know. Right about the time in the 80s, it was really flourishing then, really going on real strong.
Man, you got some.
You know, Mike is Detroit's Eddie Jefferson, man. We've done a lot. He comes inside there. He tears that place up, man. He's got so much range, and I mean, very jazzy, really cool. You can tell, really down to earth kind of guy. Man. Good to see you, Mike.
Yeah.
But thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, he was a mentor for us when we were coming up in Detroit before he got killed up there by Bakers.
Yeah.
Him and John Hendricks. We go to Toledo to see Claude Black and Murphy, and we down in Rusty's. It was just so much music in Detroit. All the musicians that used to come to Bomax, who used to go all the way on the east side. We used to go to Queenie's. There were so many places at that time. Rudy Robinson was the dog. Him and Marcus used to drag me from one end of town to the other. And then that would be after I got off work. Yeah. True story. I missed them so much, both of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, Marcus probably was one of the biggest, you know, he give you your confidence and whatever you wanted to do with the music.
He was like
him and Teddy Harris.
That's so great. Thanks for sharing all that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Really the real deal, man. That's the real deal.
Yeah, I miss him. I miss a lot of them. Marion Hayden is still great. She's carrying the torch like, you know, she carries the torch from all of them, Donald Walden and all of them at Oberlin College up here in Ohio. They talked about them every single day, still today up there at Oberlin. Yeah.
Did you work with Lamont Hamilton at all? Lamont Hamilton, tenor sax.
I haven't seen. I don't know about. I don't know about Lamont.
Yeah, he was good.
Seen or heard anything about him.
He was he was like a Bird disciple. You know, he'd go stand with Sonny Stitt at Baker's and just wear Sonny Stitt out. You know.
Oh God, it was so many of them. Stitt was such a great, but you know, I loved all of them. The Dexter Gordon Stitt.
Yeah, he was
Golly.
kind of like Larry Smith with that, you know.
Yes, yeah,
We had Larry
yeah.
Smith for that, right? We had Larry Smith.
Lamont
Oh
Hamilton.
God,
he
yes.
was great,
Yeah,
man.
Larry Smith. He's another pioneer of the days out of Pittsburgh. Yes, he's another one.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those guys were, I mean, so many people come out of Pittsburgh, you wouldn't believe that they would.
Oh, George Benson.
Oh yeah, George. Richard Cole. I was working with Richard Cole
Oh,
year
yeah.
before last down in Miami.
Were
And
you
now
really?
I found out the other about a month ago that he passed away, Richard Cole.
Oh, yeah, he was great.
To
man.
be with Eddie Jefferson.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, we were together in Miami with Ira Sullivan for about 90 days, 3 years ago.
Did you work in Pittsburgh yourself ever? Did you go play
No,
there?
no, I always work with people. I work with Eric Watson, who's from Eric is from there in Detroit. Him and his brother Kenny. I work with them a lot, and it never was in Pittsburgh. It was always on the road.
Yeah.
Never worked with him in Pittsburgh.
They had a
So many
great
guys.
jazz
I
organ
met
scene.
Nathan Davis.
Yeah. Pittsburgh is a strong jazz city, man. Strong.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, real strong, like Detroit.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil, how you doing? That's Phil. And hey, Sheila. Wow.
Good to see you, man. Very good to see you. I'm
Yeah,
glad
it's
you
good
made
to
it
see
in.
you.
I know you're out there training horses, right?
Yeah, I got 20 here in Cleveland. You know, we still working at Dan Gilbert.
Okay.
He owns the tracks over here like he owns over there in Detroit.
Yeah, that's why we lose him a lot, because he's out there training horse. He's whispering horses' ears and like that.
Yeah, I got a bunch. We're doing pretty good on them too. We've been winning lately.
Okay, good deal.
I
You
got to
ain't
get
careful,
home
are
to
you?
see you all. I missed you much. Oh, I missed you so much.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
all still at Tiffany's? You still in Harbor House?
There's not a bunch of places right now.
I believe that. Yeah.
Cliff Bells, Dirty Dog.
Okay.
What we're doing, man, what Baker's Keyboard Lounge, what we're doing over there with Sky over at the Woodbridge Pub. on Sunday
Woodbridge,
nights.
yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's wonderful.
Mhm.
Yeah, I see. Sky's really gone. I'm so proud of her. She's come a long way. I remember when we was having classes back in the day. I'm going way back now, though.
I know they were schooling me, boy.
There's no limit to the sky.
I was schooled.
You were schooled by the best, though. You know that, guy.
Yes, I cannot complain. And I was
But see,
schooled,
we also have a strong community. I look out there and I see like menu people from the music menu.
Oh, wow.
Tino, yourself included, Larin.
Yeah, Larin, yeah.
The folks, that was such a legendary place to.
Oh, yes.
It was.
Every style and genre of music came out of there.
Yeah,
And that's one of the few places I've been to like 7 nights a week, and it was always something different each night.
Always good.
Yeah.
I forget, we had a Tuesday, I think, me, Jeff Grand, Jimmy McCarty.
Yes.
And that went for years. I mean, that was like a beautiful thing, man. And everybody else, what all was going on at the menu was top notch, man.
Yeah,
it was.
I remember when Thornetta told me, I remember the night Thornetta told me, she was like, this is the last jam session that I'm doing. I remember when it was, that ongoing thing. That I remember when some of the people that I admire, my mentors, when they would say, this is the last time you'll see me every week, that sort of thing. So I saw all that happen with Thornetta. Remember, Thornetta had the Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yep.
Hey, Laura, remember?
Yeah.
Laura, remember your music menu days?
Yes, Laura,
Yes.
you remember?
Well, I'm not a frequent flyer. I'm kind of like, when I get out, it's like a big deal. Even then, when I didn't go out that much, but yes, I remember them. they were pretty crazy. Some crazier than others. All 4 in the morning,
Yeah, okay,
turns.
you were there.
Me doing the moonwalk on the bar. Yeah, I remember.
Yep.
We can't talk about none of that stuff, guys. None of that.
No.
It was all pertaining to music.
So I remember everybody being in the kitchen and just grabbing like things out of the freezer with their bare hands and putting them on the. I remember that after the club. Just like I was in shock.
Thunders, yeah.
Sudden messengers like that. They were working across the
I
street.
remember that.
they were working over at the casino, and they would leave their gigs sometimes. They come over and hang out at the menu, go to the back, or you just go to the back, and it was like a smoking room, right? I was like Detroit's. What's that spot in New York?
Small
student.
No, back in the day when they were all going crazy.
Studio 54 or no?
I don't know. It was between after the club and before the
really hot
Blind Pig. It was
really,
the in between
really hot
time.
a really ugly basement. That was the back room at the menu. Just go back there and everybody just chill out. The musicians would anyway.
Yeah.
Great times, man.
I have a question I'd like to ask.
Club 51. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
How do you all approach your writing? How does that come about for each of you in writing a song? Because some people just write by inspiration, or some people, you have a deadline and you have to write something. How does that work, or does that not work for you? It's all just by inspiration. And what I wanted to add with Sky, when she was talking about music being healing, music also is a way to teach by music, because I know that it's easier to remember stuff when you can put it to music. Especially, I mean, whether it's children or whatever, when you
absolutely,
teach
I have a story about
you
that.
can put that to music. That's another way to learn. Go ahead, Liz.
Well, being a stutterer and stuff, I was so shy in school, and I had, I figured out that if I could sing the science formulas, and if I could sing the math formulas, for photosynthesis and all this kind of stuff. And I got A's, and they even accused me of cheating. They said, no, but as soon as I figured out that I could sing them, and I think one of the questions was, what do you do to, to sort of, get yourself ready, or sort of, improve your vocals? I think the idea of moving too, if you're moving and you're singing it, and there's something about lining everything up, and you can, as you were saying, Sheila, you can memorize a lot of different things. Yeah.
And why do you think, Liz, that I still want to hear the answer, but I from the rest of you, but why do you think the stuttering stopped? What was it, because you were concentrating on something else? How does that link together?
The stuttering stopped because I got mad, and it was the best thing I ever did. Is somebody put me in a speech class, and I had to stand up in front of a group of kids and give a speech. And the first time I did it, it was, I just couldn't do it. And you could see people in the front kind of doing this thing when you're listening to somebody stutter, and I was so humiliated. And it just, after a couple of those, I was practicing my speech in my basement at my home, and I just got mad. And I thought, I know music. I'm going to apply it. So I thought, I can do things in time. So I'm going to slow this down, and I'm going to take charge. So I got up there and I said, my speech is, and I just went in rhythm. And then the next speech I gave, I was just a little bit faster, but I just stuttered like once or twice, and I really took charge to speak slowly. But it was music that really got me to quit stuttering, because I could do things in rhythm, and I took charge. And it's like taking charge of the stage, when you go up and you put your head down, and then you breathe, and it's just like you slow things down, and then you're taking charge, and then the music's coming through. Yeah. So music healing like that. It's just, it taught me something. It's really powerful.
Yeah.
And Laura, go ahead.
I was
that's actually an incredible skill. I will remember that. What
it
you
will,
just taught.
yeah.
You must be, well, I know you're very smart, but for you to have that knowledge of yourself at a young age to do that is pretty incredible. Because
I felt like something was coming through me, and I know you've all felt that. You think there's knowledge that's coming through you about the world and how things work while you're singing, and you're resonating. Your bones are resonating, your cranium is resonating, you know, and all this stuff is going, and you're breathing. And it's almost like you're doing yoga and meditating, and it's this whole combination.
Yeah, that healing feeling.
And that healing feeling.
Healing
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah. It's like, wow, this is
Right.
like teaching. This is teaching. Yeah, as you were saying, Sheila.
It's incredible.
Mhm.
So I guess how I write, it's all different ways, but I get stuck a lot. I get stuck. And so then I think we were doing an album a year, and then George just said, I was trying to be more efficient and work on the laptop and just boop, 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 boop. And he said, put that laptop away, put it away. The best way that I write is when I'm not thinking about it.
Right.
Sometimes we create all different ways. Sometimes we're singing and playing together. Sometimes George already has a track. It just depends on the situation. So there's no certain way. But the way that I write, and sometimes the whole song is done just on improvising. Usually it's the ballads that are done like that. But it's conduit like, and not all the songs are this way, but many of them are this way. The special ones are this way, where it just, I don't even, like, you better turn the mic on because I don't even know what I just said. I can't remember it. I don't even know what that was. It was 4 minutes long and I don't even remember what I said.
Can I ask a question?
A gift.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
It's like speaking in tongues.
Yeah, it's you know, it's, I can't explain it, but that's the best way. But yeah, so all different ways work for us, work for me. But writing in a laptop, trying to think of lyrics, oh, this rhymes with this. I'll be stuck on a rhyming word for 2 hours, and then George will just have to stop. He gets so mad at me, and I just have to put it down. Then I have to go back to the improv, and then I have to find the right phrase or word.
Yeah.
I heard a great songwriter say that songs are like little spirits, you know, and you have to sort of set the table and set a party for them and invite them to dinner. And then you have to sort of turn yourself into like a receiver and just be wide open so that the songs will hang out with you. They'll come down and, you know, eat dinner with you and, you know, enjoy your company, and that you have to just be that open and receptive to it, you know, and the songs will appear, you know. I love that concept.
I love that.
You know, it's easy to get sidetracked by technology though.
Yeah.
I love to freestyle. And some of the songs I've written, you know, just come from just freestyling. You know, for me, I'm new to writing in this sense. I'll take my phone and I try to never let an idea get away. You can sing something, you can be in your car driving, no music, and you know, you'll come up with something. If you don't yank that phone out, if you don't have a pad or something to write it, it'll get away.
It'll be gone.
Or dreams, you know, you wake up, it's 3:30 and you just heard this music and you're like, oh man, okay, I'm up. Where's my phone to record that? Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. And when it's something that's really, it's delicious, and you don't write it down or don't sing it, because I might remember the words, but I don't remember that melody that went with it. It's like, I should have recorded that, you know. Yeah. And I'm new. I'm like you, Smoke. I'm new to that. I called myself like this morning. I said, I'm the baby. You know, I'm older than everybody, but I'm the baby in the industry like this. And over the COVID time of being shut down, you know, this guy right here, he's always wanted to play some music, and he was getting lonely by himself in the basement. So I went downstairs and I had a poem from 18 years back, and I said, well, I have this. So and we just started, and then he put something else on after that, and then I'm like hearing a particular thing like beep beep, And he was, I said, well, hold on, let me see if I could work with that. It came up with a really great song. It's called It's About Me. And and what I was hearing was the me, but and then I just took on, because we couldn't go nowhere anyway. So
Just kept going.
and we ended up, doing 7 songs of
Wow.
Amazing.
Great.
the producer
Yeah.
over
Awesome.
there. So yeah, that type of thing. Giselle had a question. You want to unmute yourself, Giselle, and share what you
Giselle.
wanted to say?
Hello, everybody. Hey, Mike.
Hey.
My question for you writers, what carries more weight for you, writing the lyric or the music, or which comes first for you?
Question. Good question.
Question.
Yeah.
Concept.
I'd like to have it
Sometimes
be
you can have a concept for something, and I think if you start with the concept, like you want to write something about how love feels like you're under the ocean sometimes and you're not moving and it's kind of spooky, and so like starting with like a color or it can help too. And then the lyrics and the music can kind of come together at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, it can go different ways. You can get a little hook, a little melodic thing that just sticks in your mind and it's catchy. And
Yes.
oh, well, I've got that, but now I need, some lyrics to match it. And then you got to pursue your lyrics. And if it comes together, you really got something. Or it can be reversed, where you get a great couple lines and you go, oh, that's such a good little hook for a song,
Yes.
and I've got to match this now with some music. A great story is, of course, Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones woke up in the middle of the night. He had a tape recorder next to his bed and he just went da 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 da.
I can hear that.
He fell asleep. He forgot all about it. Right? And then they were at a recording session, a few days later, and he pulled the cassette out and they came up with I Can't Get No Satisfaction. It was like songs can come to you, they're blessings, they're gifts, they
Right.
come to you. You can try really hard to get there, but sometimes the best thing is just let it happen. And I know you guys all know that. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a napkin writer. I've been writing lyrics on napkins forever. And then I get my hooks with them after I get them napkins together. I'm kind of like smoking, write it on a napkin, keep it in your pocket for months. I'm a hoarder of napkins with all kind of lyrics to make even when I did songs wrong, I end up making new songs.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
riot.
Duke Ellington kind of got in, right? Duke Ellington, he would ride on a train and he loved writing songs on the train. And it would just come to him. He just mark it off on napkins and then A Train or something,
Right. Yeah. That's a great story about how Take the A Train was written, that he wrote the directions down to his apartment and gave it to what's his name, Billy Strayhorn.
Right.
And while Billy Strayhorn was going from Washington to New York, he looked at the lyrics and it said, "Take the A Train." So Billy Strayhorn wrote that song and it became the signature for Duke Ellington, but it was something that Billy Strayhorn wrote on he had it on a napkin on the way to New York.
Right.
Wow.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Brings up a question about collaborations, right?
Right.
Yeah. About
But
collaboration.
you guys, we about 29 minutes left, and we have I see Leslie's on and some other people that are vocalists, or you're just joining in. You can ask questions or join in and give us some history or anything like that. I want to ask Linda Jones, are you the Linda Jones that was in Detroit, but now you're in Texas? And You are a writer. Is that the Linda Jones I'm seeing?
She there?
Linda, you want to unmute your microphone.
That's my mom.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Famous Linda Jones.
Okay.
So is
Cool.
that which one she is?
Smoke Jones' mom. I'm Smoke Jones' mom. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, good job.
oh, hey.
You did a good
How
job.
you doing?
Well,
I'm good.
thanks for bringing him to earth.
Yes.
I just wanted to kind of give a history on my son. I did not know that my son could sing until he was a teenager, and he was driving in the car, and I heard him start kind of singing. But then when I asked him to sing louder, he wouldn't. And then the next thing I knew, here he is singing all over the place.
Oh, man.
That's great.
That's a good story.
My
Yeah.
mom, she has a beautiful voice, but she does not sing a lot, for you to hear. So, I remember hearing her sing when we would worship, and she has a beautiful voice. She has a beautiful voice.
Awesome.
Thank you, Al. I'm telling you, I don't know, something going to my ears over there. If you say so.
I'm trying to understand how you're his mom. I'm like, wait a second. Like, you not look like you be his mom. I'm trying to get past that.
I tell you, I like you.
Well, no, that's why he acts like that, is because you probably undercover, and then suddenly a couple of years ago, I guess he decided, so I'm coming out from undercover, and he played somewhere, and everybody heard that voice.
Wow.
Like when I heard his voice, I was like, well, this guy must have been playing around for a long time. And him telling, oh, I've just started singing in public. So that's coming from you. I'm going to blame you.
Okay. Well, that song, Hey Laura, I asked him to sing it to me again, and I love his voice. And a lot of times I'm almost in tears when I hear him sing, because I do know it comes from his heart, and he's also a songwriter, so I'm so proud of him. I am.
How I met Smoke was he popped in, and I don't know who invited him. But it was a New Year's Eve. We did a New Year's Eve party online, and we had 10 artists, and we didn't play nothing but the 10 artists' songs, because just like we could play anybody else, we could play our songs, right? So everybody submitted like 3 to 4 songs and stuff, and then Smoke popped in and just enjoyed himself, and Thornetta was there, and all kind of who else was there, but at the end, when it's all over, and we went to 2:00, I think it was 2:00, and then we were just all sitting there because we were enjoying each other so much. We were just sitting there, and Smoke was in there, and that's when I found out who he was, and about the Jam Kazam and all that kind of stuff, and it's been that connection ever since then. So and Laura had graced me with being able to play my tambourine, and she put me on my tambourine is recorded on her album.
All right.
All right.
Songs. She
Nice.
asked me, she just let me do my thing. And I remember once we were performing in it was at Grand Rapids, and she said,
at the bowling alley.
yeah, and I was in the back, trying to fit in, because I'm just that side person. And Laura said, Sheila, you come on to the front. I am not one of those that want to be the diva. Come on to the front. I appreciated that so much, because that side person that's adding that little thing sometimes makes a difference in the move, and I know my tambourine be jamming now. It'll make the move.
That's great.
But, I so appreciated her acknowledging that, and I was just really getting started with the tambourine. I've been playing the tambourine in church all that time, but then it became serious. And then when I found out about my honey he likes the tambourine. Well, you want to give him more of what he likes,
Yeah.
It makes a difference in the groove and such. So I really appreciate you for doing that and putting her on the wax.
I remember the gig,
Well,
my speaker fell off the stage.
Very cool.
Oh yeah.
I think I learned to play the tambourine from you. I was like, wait a minute, now that's how I play the tambourine. So when we were lucky enough to have you grace our presence when Phil was playing with us, I mean, it was just so much fun. It's just like family up there, and it was so great. And so, every time, because I'll play with the 2 tambourines when I really get going. I mean, I think of you. I think of you when I'm doing that. So, yeah, I miss those times. It was
we have
fun.
to make more opportunities for that.
That's right.
Sheila, what's the instrument that you play that has the shells on it?
Oh, the shakeré.
It's called what?
Shakeré.
Okay, you do.
They also call it the gourd.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a big gourd.
Yeah. You know what? I beat the hell out of that thing. It would just fall apart. Shells would be going and on the floor, then hitting people in the eyes and everything else. That's that. Yeah. Leslie, if you wanted to join us, because Leslie is a vocalist as well. She wants to join
come on,
us.
Leslie.
Please be
Hey,
free.
Leslie.
And anyone who
Leslie.
has some question, Paula, Imari.
Hi, Leslie.
Hello, Leslie.
Hello.
Leslie might be somewhere cooking.
Oh. Well, you heard of Jack Ashford, right? From Motown, the tambourine player?
Yes,
Jack Ashford.
yes.
That tambourine it's a monster, man. Once it gets
Yes.
going, it can take over the whole record. It's beautiful.
I was with a guy one time, told me, don't play that tambourine no more, damn it. That's all I heard.
Right. That's a good one.
Well, I know you have.
Have you played with Melvin Davis, Michael?
Melvin Davis.
Yeah, the Detroit Soul Ambassador.
No, I have not.
Never played with him. Okay, I think he plays with Spider.
Spider Turner.
Okay,
Yeah.
Spider. Okay, I know Spider.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know Spider, but I don't know Melvin Davis. No.
Yes, Michael, when you see him, you know him. He plays
Probably
with
so. You know
Drew
that.
Schultz.
Giselle, I know
Yeah.
so many faces.
Yeah,
That's
when you see
pathetic,
him,
you know?
Michael, you know him.
I
Yeah.
probably do. I wouldn't doubt it. I haven't been home in so long. I had to get in a room with everybody. Say, I had to come to Giselle. Giselle, who was that? They just spoke to me. Can you tell me what his name is? I can't remember. I remember his face, but I don't.
Yeah, but Michael, you know him when you see
I
him. you
probably
know
do.
him.
I wouldn't doubt it. You know, I know so many people. I miss you too. I want you to know that, G.
You know I miss you and love you, Michael.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, Leslie, what's
I
up?
finally figured out how to get on.
Oh,
Sorry.
good.
Everybody.
What's up
Hey.
with you?
Leslie.
Hey,
Hey,
I
Leslie.
was out.
You turn your camera on, babe.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
I say, oh no.
I don't know how anyway.
Okay, well, you got you got to learn that before your day.
Right before it's Friday, right? The video is stopped. Okay. I don't know which one to touch.
Well, we'll get with you on that. But how are things going? And then I'd like to ask everybody after you share, what's next? What's next for you? What are you working on now? So go ahead, Leslie, and you can share if you want.
Oh, I think she put her mic back on. I mean, muted.
Okay, sorry. I'm
Oh,
learning
there
how
you
to-
are.
Okay.
Yeah. What's next?
What's next for me?
Yeah.
Musically, I'm working on getting some music out and continuing promoting what I have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it for me musically.
Mm.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
Liz?
I'm excited to say I'm sitting on 2 records that I haven't put out yet that I did in my studio, and I'm just like getting my guts up. I'm gonna put that out. As of the 21st of this month, there's a Pandora exclusive on the first bit of the meditation music. It's called Arcello Focus. And then it's all coming out worldwide on the 28th. So that's going, and then I'm going to get, and then I'm scoring a film and I'm scoring a documentary. So I am really open to any films. I'm going to be doing that until I, as I said, go face down in my keyboard. So,
Good work. That's good work.
yeah.
So
really-
that means you're putting the music to it when you say scoring. So if
Yes.
someone has a film, then
Yep.
you, oh,
I-
wow.
Yeah, so I can score two picture if somebody sends me something, and even when I talk to filmmakers who give me an idea of what they're trying to do, I'll send them like 6 minutes of various things that say, is this what you're looking for? You know, and so I really try to give, play, as you were saying, the side person, and be the person that helps the filmmaker get exactly the sound that they want for their film. And it's really fun to be, support like that.
Wow, that's awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Smoke, what you up to?
So yeah, we're doing a Juneteenth festival on June 19th. Right now, I'm in the process of working with the city to put together some festivals, a 3-part festival. So we're just in talks with that. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen, but I'm not going to announce it. You know,
You don't want to jinx it.
I don't want to jinx it, but it's looking really good, and it's going to be my first opportunity to help get my hands into, the planning of the artistic side of a festival.
Great.
And then I'm writing, and I plan on putting out my very first project this year, which is, I had no idea how much was involved even in the beginning stages of that. But, I have a lot of my material written. I actually have another writer that's writing with me. And I'm just really excited about the time. It's new, and it's changing my life. It's changing my mindset. I know what I want to do with the rest of my life, whether I work at my 9 to 5 or not. This is something I want to do, like Liz said, until the day I'm gone. Yeah. So
Great. That's
Fantastic.
great.
Awesome. Laura?
Well, I want to say Liz Larin is another Detroit prolific artist. I mean, when I grow up, can I be like her? I mean, she's you're so together and so talented, and you and Bob together, it's like the world is going to explode with all that talent. It's really incredible. So I'm happy that some bigger doors are opening up because you are that person to do that. So that is really, really cool.
Man, I feel that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I feel like you just gave me a hug. So thank you so much for that.
Well, yeah. Mo music, collaborations are key this year, and keep my fingers crossed, that we get some hits on some placements, or maybe some of our music, and get some touring rolling in, and we'll see what happens. So
Yeah.
I'm betting all my money on Black.
We're pulling for you. We're really pulling for you.
Yeah.
Everybody is.
I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, Laura, you got it. The word is Laura and George, they're going to do this thing, and everybody is completely supporting you.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Sky? Sky's always
Sky?
a project.
She might be singing.
Oh, there she is.
Peace, everyone. Well, this is very fulfilling. So I want to thank all of you. This was so fulfilling. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Oh, it was so much
It was-
fun
it
to
was
hear
great,
about you,
Sky. So
Sky. Thank
inspiring.
you.
Yeah, Sky, we was asking about what's next, what's up for you now? What are you working on?
Well, right now, and I'm at Woodbridge. I'm in the courtyard, and because I didn't want to miss this, but I didn't want to let the gig go.
Oh, that's good. You're such a pro.
But I'm so grateful because when you're distracted, everybody come. When you like looking at the door, nobody comes. So it's just how everything happens. But what's coming up for me next is the Satin Dow review.
I just want to keep the preservation of jazz going. That's been my, I said I was going to do 5 years of investing, sponsoring, putting on shows to preserve the preservation of jazz and keep that in people's ears, to teach the young people about jazz, the traditional stuff, the stuff that people use in their work. And we think they're so prolific, and which they are, because they chose that. But that's what I want to do, and that's what I've been doing. It's just the preservation of jazz. Of course, I have my radio show, TV show on WJZZ Cool TV, called The Preservation of Jazz, and it's going very well. I enjoy doing the homework. I'm learning so much. Michael, Katie, and my cousin Jessilee, and Sheila, and Laura, and Liz, and all of you. You may not realize it. We may not realize it because we don't come to each other's shows, but you all are mentors to me. You all give me that energy to like keep doing something new. So that's what I'm doing. I started my pop-up supper club, and I just picked a place, and I'm taking my club and my idea of what jazz should look like in a place. And so that's what I'll be doing. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh, that's
You start
great,
that
Sky.
next week. Don't you start that on the 23rd?
Hey,
Yeah, the May 30th. May 30th. And yeah, it's gonna be a pop-up supper club, and I'm gonna just bring it to wherever people let me bring it. And then yeah, so that's gonna be really fun.
great.
Really awesome.
And our master moderator here.
Yeah, I said
What's
back
up,
to Tino.
What's
What is
coming
your
up,
favorite?
Tino? What's
Oh, well,
coming up?
thank you for asking. I mean, I'm so thrilled to have been a part of this with you guys. You know, this is so inspiring, and I'm really, really thrilled to have been asked by Phil and Sheila to do this. So, yeah, I got some things coming up. I'm working on Johnny B's new album, the drummer from the Detroit Wheels, and
Oh yeah.
and he's played with everybody. Dr. John, he's the drummer on Frankenstein by Edgar Winter, and
I didn't know that.
they just did the Alice Cooper album that went to #1. It's #1.
Wow.
Alice Cooper's latest, Detroit Stories, it's called. Those guys are rolling in here tomorrow, and we're going to be doing some tracks. So I'm real excited to do that. Johnny B's always been a mentor to me and a hero, great musical talent. So he wrote some songs and he sings them really well. And we just said, B, you sing them, because he's always trying to give the songs to somebody else, and so I think his time has come. So we're going to do that. I'm doing John Sinclair's next record.
Great.
And that's always a joy. This will be the 3rd John Sinclair album. And then I'm doing James Cloyd's record, the guy who passed away, right?
Right.
And he cut a whole album over here before he passed, right? So we're going to get that out. I'm going to get Phil on a couple tracks too. I've been meaning to get a hold of you, Phil. But that'll be a James Cloyd, tribute record. And then I'm doing my own record, Tino G, and I'm real excited about it. I got Bob Dylan's bass player playing on a couple things, and Wayne Kramer's on guitar, and
That's
so
great.
there's so much cool stuff coming up. The main thing is we're healthy again. We survived this whole last year.
Yeah.
I feel like the good Lord has supercharged us with energy, and so just blessed to be a part of it all, and
That's great.
looking forward to summer, and
That's
all the good
exciting.
stuff.
This
Yeah.
is it's going to be great to hear this stuff.
I can't wait to get it out and let everybody hear it. And,
Yeah, we'll have
right
to throw a party,
Yes.
Yeah.
like like even a listening party where we can all get in the same room.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be great.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
we want to hear from Mike, what you up to. And then Tino, I have to remind you, Tino invited us to his studio or wherever he's at right now, that we're going to all come there
Yay.
and do something, create something, right?
Wouldn't that
Right
be
on.
cool?
Can't wait.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
good. Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
Mike.
can't even imagine how
But
good it would be.
I'm trying to get it. I'm gonna see if I can't get Palmer Park. I'm gonna come home this summer, and I want to give a something at Palmer Park. Maybe all of us getting together, have a jam session out at 6 Mile. Was it 6 Mile Hamilton in the park?
Yeah.
I gotta look. I'm looking to see how many hours of Porta Johns. Gotta get the permission. Yeah, and the police and all, so that we can have a nice little, maybe 3 hours out there at the park,
Right.
Nice.
I'm gonna do a memorial for my wife. My wife passed February the 6th, so I definitely wanted to have it at home in Detroit at Palmer Park if I could. I mean, I'm trying to make sure I don't clash with the jazz festival or nothing. But in between time, we might have it on a Saturday or Sunday, and we all get together.
Jazz Festival will be in September.
Oh, well, we probably could do that in August then. That'd be great.
Well, remember, I gotta get to it. The event planner. I can help you and Smoke and Sky and I have done so many Hug Detroits. We know where the porta potties are. We know where the deals are.
Well, I'm gonna definitely call you, Sheila, because I'm gonna need you to give me some advice on that, so we can get that park, so we can all get together and have a great jam session, have a good time.
That's right. Tino, I'm gonna give it back to you, and whatever you want to do, we got about 4 minutes.
Okay, well, thanks so much, Sheila and Phil. And
6 minutes, 5.
I just really I love Detroit. The vibes off of this are so Motor City, and
yes, we are.
Anywhere I've ever traveled, like I went to Norway and Sweden with a bunch of guys from Mississippi, the Fat Possum Records crew, the R.L. Burnside family, right? And so we get to Sweden and nobody's slept, right? We've been up for 2 days flying and connecting for planes, and we get to the hotel and the promoter for this big blues concert. I mean, they love blues over there like you can't even believe. They have these festivals like Notaden where there's like 30,000 people showing up to hear, just a good blues band. I mean, it's so exciting how they love American music. So the promoter comes to the hotel. He's like, we need somebody to come out and, have a few drinks. We're so glad you're here. The bands, they want to crash. They go, Tino will go. So I go to the bar with these guys in Sweden, and it's full of like Swedish Hells Angels, like bikers. Wow. And they find out I'm from Detroit. And they go, where's the guy from Detroit? And they start toasting whiskey, right? Marvin Gaye, yes. Down Smokey Robinson, yes, down the hatch, right? Iggy and the Stooges, down the hatch. MC5, down the hatch. And I mean, I'm like, please stop. I had to crawl out of this bar. The point is, they love the Motor City everywhere you go. They love what we're doing. So we are blessed here to be a part of that and be, soldiers for Detroit, and lucky enough to come from this great environment. And I want to thank all of you folks for doing this.
You too, Tino.
I look forward to seeing you all in person.
I'm gonna reach out to a bunch of you and just pick up on where we what we can do.
Oh yeah.
So and feel free to do the same if you need anything.
Peace to everyone.
Like that.
Peace.
Yeah.
Take care.
We want to close with that. We have some music for the next hour from 9 to 10. The City of Arts Jukebox. Okay.
Nice.
We put some good music for you. I want to remind you that our sponsors are LEAP, Linking Everyday Extraordinary People, The Key of G. Raise your hand there, Giselle.
All right, G.
Everett's Natural Beauty School and Salon. Hug Detroit Day is a sponsor. Dooney's Event Planning Bootcamp Academy, and in Bayou, it's not business as usual. I love you all. Thank you so much.
Much love.
You were handpicked.
All right.
We did some good picking.
Be blessed, everybody.
Yes.
Be blessed. Peace.
Great job.
Peace out. Peace out.
You can go ahead and hit the music, Tylene.
Emperor, Mr. Johnny Bassett, live on U Detroit Network.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here, be asked to do something here in the city of Detroit because I very seldom get a chance to do anything around home. I be home, and that's a good thing. But it's always good to be here performing in front of my hometown folks. Yeah. We'll try to do this. This is a mainstay among my repertoire. It's called Cadillac Blues, written by my keyboardist, Mr. Bob Kodesh, written by my keyboardist father, Bob Kodesh. Ready, guys? Get a shot. And I broke down Raggedy Ford, played $1 million one-night gigs out on that lonesome road, and I'm cruising. No, I ain't looking back. You see, I still got the blues, yeah, but I've got them in my Fleetwood Cadillac. Now listen, my record started selling, and I saved a little bread when I bought myself a big Fleetwood, painted lipstick red, and I'm cruising. No, I ain't looking back. See, I still got the blues, yeah, but I've got them in my Fleetwood Cadillac. Yeah. Like my baby, built for comfort, and I feel yes, I'm cruising. No, I ain't looking back. See, I still got the blues, yeah, but I've got them in my Fleetwood Cadillac. Then I will switch on my air conditioning, and I will hit my cruise control, punch in some smoking music, let the good time roll. Yes, I'm cruising. No, I ain't looking back. See, I still got the blues, but I've got them in my pretty Cadillac. Play your horn, Razor. got some dues to pay, but I can jump into my big caddy and drive my blues away. Yes, I'm cruising. No, I ain't looking back. Well, I still got the blues, but I've got them in my Fleetwood Cadillac. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. It's okay.
Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, for the great Johnny Bassett. I'm telling you.
I want you to
because of where I'm at right now. Yeah, but you got to ask me, so like go
we just kept on. But that's how we like to play them.
forgotten somehow that I cared much before, and it's wonderful now. I don't hurt anymore.
Some ladies can relate to that, right?
You're my summer baby, smoking honey. You keep me on my feet, even when I'm low. I'm a sucker for this kind of passion. Girl, you give me wings. I'm soaring from your love.
You're my nighttime breeze, something cozy. You got me shivering, even when I'm warm. In just a day, it's true, made the difference. All I needed all along was you. It is you. It is it. It is you. It is it. It is you. It is it. It is love is the only thing we need. It is
You're my nighttime lady, undercover. And nobody's got to know I'm having fun with you. I'm not trying to hide, pull back the curtain. It's no secret, girl, I'm in love with you.
you're my sweet escape. Take me flying past the skies above. I'm soaring from your love, and I can't believe that I got you. Oh boy, you give me wings. I'm soaring from your love. It
drive it home. Yes, we give it to number one. Come on, let's have some fun. So put your hips close to mine and drive it home. We give it to number two to drive it home. We give it to number two to drive it home. We give it to number two, baby, just me and you. So put your hips close to mine and drive it home. We give it to number three to drive it home. Give it to number three to drive it home. Yeah, we give it to number three, baby, just you and me. We'll rock it all day and drive it home. Phil Hale on the keyboard. We'd like to thank you guys so much for coming out this evening. We have a fabulous band here. So honored to be playing with them. We're gonna do a thing. Just a couple of little breaks, and Neil Damon really go at it. Damon on the bass.
Take it away, Mr. Jeff Wayne. This song is called Tighten Up. That's Mr. Chuck Rainey on the bass. Mr. David T. Walker on the guitar. Mr. Sonny Phillips on the organ. Mr. Pancho Morales on conga. Mr. Lou Donaldson on alto. Mr. Virgil Jones on trumpet. My little brother, Bill Bivens on tenor. Now we're just gonna groove. All right, now. Tighten up, baby. Oh, la 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 la. Hey. Tighten up. Tighten up, baby. Mr. David T. Walker. Virgil Jones. Mr. Bill Bivens. Mr. Sonny Phillips on organ.
Hi, my name is Lisa Stone, and I sing with my family, Sly and the Family Stone.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Robinson, and I play trumpet and talk a lot.
Hi, my name is Rose Stone, and we're getting ready to do the Tokyo Jazz Festival, so come out and see us.
Are you ready? I can hear you. You ready to party? Yeah.
So got to dance, I just won't hide.
Cynthia on the floor.
just won't hide.
I'd like to hear Tony's organ. I said right, sounded right, yeah. I'd like to hear the horns blow. Cynthia on the throne. Listen to me. Cynthia and Jerry Mike's got a message that says home is waiting for home. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair.
One child grows up to be somebody that just loves to learn. Another child grows up to be somebody you just love to burn. Mom loves the both of them. You see it's in the blood. Both kids are good to mom. Blood's thicker than the mud. It's a family affair.
It's a family affair.
It's a family affair.
It's a family
Newlywed a year ago, still checking each other out. Nobody wants to blow. Ain't nobody wanna be left out. Can't see your heart is there, and you can't say, 'cause you've been somewhere else. And you can't cry, 'cause you look broke down, but you're crying anyway, 'cause you're all broke down. It's a family affair.
It's a family affair.
It's a family affair.
It's a family
Family affair. It's a family affair.
It's a family affair. Oh, won't you help me, Lisa? Baby.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be here tomorrow, same place. Music Biz panel will be 1 to 3 p.m. Musicians panel 7 to 9 p.m. And of course, some phenomenal music from 9 to 10. Thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to having you join us for the rest of the week. Have a phenomenal week, everyone. Shout out to City of Arts Music Symposium for producing this phenomenal event today. Looking forward to the rest of the week. Thank you so much. Have a phenomenal week. And we look forward to seeing you.